I'm Jonathan Scott, and I'm here at the Church of St Philip's, Salford, one of the Commissioners' churches built from a £1 million parliamentary fund after the Napoleonic Wars. It's in the Greek Revival style and was designed by Sir Robert Smirke. The foundation stone was laid in 1822, and the church was consecrated in September 1825. The interior is absolutely beautiful with many original features, but what we're really here to see is the 1829 Renn Boston pipe organ. Follow me as we head upstairs. The English organ in the 1820s had developed little since the close of the previous century, and features such as a set of pedals to be played by the feet was still a novelty to English organists. Changes in fashion and the constant inventiveness of the Victorians means that today it is rare to find an instrument from the early 19th century in anything close to its original condition. The organ was built at a cost of £400, and out of Samuel Renn and John Boston, it was Renn who emerged as the great craftsman. He was born in 1786 in Derby and moved to London at the age of 13 to be apprenticed to his organ builder uncle, James Davis. In 1823, he moved back north and set up premises in Manchester with John Boston. Over the next 20 years, they built over 100 instruments locally and across the country. I'd like to take you on a full guided tour of this instrument so you can see what makes it so historically important. Like any organ, wind is blown through pipes to make sounds, so the best place for us to begin is in the blowing chamber inside. For the pipes to speak, we need air in bellows, and of course to provide that nowadays we have an electric blower. Originally a wooden handle would have been here which was pumped by hand, and the unlucky person who was given that job would have to sit here during the entire Sunday service. Taking a glance at the walls just around me, you can see the names and dates of people scratched into the wall who had just that job to do. This space also provides access to the pipework of the organ, and it's all carefully maintained by organ builder David Wood, who has the responsibility of tuning the 862 wood and metal pipes contained within. The pipes range in length from just a few inches for the highest notes to several feet for the lowest sounds of the instrument, and they're all controlled back outside at the main console. The organ is made up of 17 speaking stops spread across 2 keyboards and a pedal board. The sounds are operated by these stop rods. As you pull one out, it operates a slider on the inside which allows air into the pipes. Each one has a different sound and a different pitch. The longer the pipe, the lower the pitch. So, on the grate we have a very English sound, the diapason. We also have a very English stopped diapason. Of course, we have a 4-foot principal. Then we have a very interesting 4-foot flute, which is a very particular sound. Samuel Renn was apprenticed in the late 18th century, and he continued the sound world of that right until his death. And so his stops are always voiced in a very late 18th century style, which is historical, and to our ears it does sound very old. Then we come to the mixture stops of the organ. On this instrument it's a 2-rank sesquialtera. Not much on its own, but when provided with assistance and other fundamental pitch, it provides a very beautiful solo rank. course, any instrument inspired by the late 18th century had a very good trumpet, and it's no exception here. And we actually have two of them. The swell was used often as a solo manual because it only went to tenor C. Pipes run out there. And so all these stops here are only going down to a 4-foot pitch in the bass. We also have the pedals, which provide the lowest stops on the organ. Since we're dealing with an entirely mechanical instrument, one of the main challenges facing the organist is to make it into a musical instrument with expression. This instrument is provided with a swell box, so some of the pipes are within a box with shutters on the front which open and close to allow the sound to be louder and quieter, so to swell. That's done with a pedal here at the console. On modern instruments it's central and is a normal pedal which rocks backwards and forwards. Here it's up and down and it's actually hitched by a trigger. That's why it's known as a trigger swell, which you have to knock out of the way. It's also known as a kick swell because of the way you have to kick the wood out of the way. So as you kick the piece of wood out of the way, with some stops on, with it open, and as we close it, the sound goes quieter, and then we can open it again, and it's hitched back open. A very simple device which allowed great expression in solo sounds on the swell. To help control the stops, the organ's fitted with combination pedals, so that when you reach, say, the end of a verse of a hymn and want to suddenly change sounds, you can do that. No stops at the moment. If we hitch down one pedal, we've got two stops out. If I need to change them, pull the next one. And another. I hope you've enjoyed this short tour around this historically important instrument. It's a real treasure, and of course it was built to provide great music, so let's finish by hearing what it does best.